Hey YouTube, Sam here. Well, we're going to be doing some electrical. So this is where I say I am no expert at this whatsoever. You do anything I do and you burn your house down or God forbid kill yourself, because you can do that with this stuff, I am not responsible. So you need to check out your own local laws and regulations on what you need to do what I'm doing. And do your own homework. Don't just go by what I'm saying. Because the laws in my area could be completely different than the laws in your areas, and the regulations could be completely different. So, yet again, not responsible if you try something I do. If you don't like the way I'm doing it, don't do it. We're doing some wiring here. As you can see, I've already started it. But I figured I'd take you along and give you just a little bit of this part of it. Like I said, this is pretty straightforward here, but now we're going to take and go from this box and actually start running up in the ceiling down and hit these boxes. There's one there and one there. So we're going to go ahead and put those in. And we're going to start with my box of wire right here. Now, it's up to you. Some people start from where they're wiring and go to the box. Some people like to start at the box and go to where they're wiring. You can choose whatever way works best for you. As I'm doing short runs, I like to just kind of start from the beginning of where the last box is and work my way to the fuse panel. Since I'm opening a new package, I figured I'd kind of show that. Used to be they'd come in boxes and you'd open up the middle here and pull from the middle and string it out. Now they come in these plastic bags. So I've talked about this box in other videos, but it seems like a pretty good place to put this, and it kind of holds it for you. And another thing, I'm still coming out through the middle here. Quite honestly, we'll see how well that works, but that's how it used to be done, so that's what I'm going to start out doing right now. I may just take that completely out because I know it works out of the bag. Now, I tend to drill my holes in the 2x4s kind of towards the back half. You don't want to drill them further forward. You want to make sure when the screws go in these walls for sheetrock, you don't take a chance of drilling in through the wires. So, or if you hang a picture or something like that. So the further back, the better. At least keep it in the middle or further back. We got our wire in through here, but now we can't just leave that hanging up in there like that. We actually have to take staples, and every so many feet you'll have to check all your codes out in your state, but I believe it's 4 feet here. I'm not positive. I need to recheck that. I need to put staples in and staple this, across, getting in the staple it against the truss here, and inside the wall, go down, and then I can bring it in the box. Now here it's 6 or 8 inches out of the box. I usually go 8. I think the code here is 6, but it depends on your area once again how far this needs to stick out of the box. And then I'll kind of show you what we're going to do. So I need to cut this off over here. And one of my things I've been doing, and this is not something I came up with, it's something I saw, is leaving these little ears on here. Now I'm not sure if by code they're going to be okay with that, because it has to be stapled within 12 inches of the box, I believe. I usually go about 6, once again, anyway. And I'm not sure if that kind of counts as part of that, or exactly if they're going to be okay with that. But I am going to do that for now. That way, when I go to do all this stuff, if I got a mess up down here, that gives me a little bit of extra that I can work with for any problems that may arise. So we're going to do the same thing here. So I got to cut this at about where I need it to do that. Alright, before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and stick this end in first and do all my stapling. In fact, I'm going to put it in this one here. These boxes, you don't have to really punch out the holes. Some boxes you have to punch them out. These already have a slit in them, ready to go. So I'm going to do that. That's about where I need it to be. Then I'm going to make my little ear thing here, and I'm going to take a staple and staple that into the wall right there. But before I do that, I got another one that's going to come out and head over to the next box. So I'm going to wait on the staple here. And I got way too big of staples when I bought staples last time, so I don't want to waste bigger staples on that. So I am going to go ahead and run the next one over. But I do know that that's about where I want to be there. I'm going to staple it again up in the wall and follow my staples all the way back to the back box there. Alright, and once again I'm waiting on this staple because quite honestly I'm putting a heater right in here, and I am thinking that this piece of wire is going to actually have to be probably rerouted. I'm not sure. I have to get the heater first. So anyway, that is another video to come. But since we're down here, we're at the end of our line here, I'm just going to go around the box. I'm going to actually, I know that's going to staple right there. I'm going to put my little bit of an ear right there and kind of go around the bottom of the box, bring it out my 6 or 8 inches from the bottom of the box here, and cut her off. And hopefully, if I did everything right, this should stick down in there, and probably more than have enough to be there. If I did it wrong, my little ear that I made will give me the extra little bit I need. I just won't have the ear anymore. And that's more than enough there. I may be wasting a little bit of wire doing this, but in the end, the peace of mind it gives me knowing that I have something to play with and I don't have to run an entire run again, makes me feel a little better. So you guys can choose what you want to do. I know I need to go from this box into this box over here, and I gotta drill some holes, and what works out for me is about 2 feet high. You're not wasting too much wire trying to come down to the boxes by making it over that. You're also far enough away from the boxes you can staple everything all right. And I just got this set right at 2 feet, including the body, and I can go along here on each of these studs. And this doesn't have to be exact, but it'll look nicer and in the end be better. And I think I'm going to go through this one here because there's a hole already drilled up above here I can go through. So now what I did there, because this is so close here and here, I don't know exactly why I did this. I think I had something on the other side of this wall I was hooking into something and I needed this here, so that's why I put it there. But anyway, I just came through this way and then tried to finish it off this way, so I'm not drilling into the wall there basically. It feels pretty good. You want to make sure that anything that's going to rub against your wires poorly doesn't. And now we can move on. The rest of them I should be able to get without any problem. To stick them both together here, put a staple in it. I want them to be so bad that they're going into the casing there. So you want to be able to almost pull them through, but not quite. Alright. So we're good and snug there. We got our 6 or 8 inches in here, and we got our little, what I'm calling ears up in here. So if we have to, we can pull more of this out, and if something happens to the out here, we still have a little bit of a safety net. Alright, now I don't really have to do any stapling in the wall because they're already held by the holes. Now this is something else too. I talked about drilling the hole like a third of the way back on an outside wall where you aren't going to be coming from the other side. Here I could be screwing screws into the other side of this, so there's where you want to go, pretty much right through the middle as best you can. I'm hoping that there isn't some new law, because there's always, it seems like every time I do something like this there's some new thing. They make plates, metal plates you can put over these areas, and it keeps you from drilling into them. But right now I think I'm okay as far as sheetrock and that kind of stuff, and I doubt I'm going to be hanging any pictures down here anywhere. So this is what we're going to do now. So I am going to go ahead and run this back to the panel for now. As you can see, I finished that box off. I'm going to go through the hole there, up through where these wires are going through, and back to the panel. And I'll meet you back. I don't know if you can see this loop here. I've talked about this in other videos. If you find a spot where you can pull through fairly decently, you want to pull out a pretty good loop, and then run it through the next area here. And then you should, in theory, be able to pull this a lot easier. And unless you get it wrapped around something. So I got junk all over it. But that kind of helps us pull that. And that's going to be pretty much a straight shot through. I'm going to have to drill a couple holes maybe. Go find some holes over there to go through. I'm going to need more though. So, because I already know I need more, I'm up here, I will pull more. Alright, so we got this strung through here, and I've talked about this in other videos, just to make sure I have enough that this thing can go all the way around in here from one end to the other. I like taking and bringing it a loop all the way around the box. That way I know I have more than enough. Plus I have a little bit up here, so I can actually pull a little bit of this back, which I may go ahead and do. Once again, just like all the rest of them, when I get done this far, you gotta mark them. Otherwise you'll get them all here and you won't have a clue of where they go or why you put them there. So this is my down west wall. And I'm going to put new, because I do have some old west wall stuff that I'm going to be dealing with later on. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, stuff it up in the top up there, just like I've done with the rest of them. If you haven't seen some of my other videos on wiring, I got a pretty good one on I'm going to be wiring up my bathtub here, so I've got a pretty good one on that one. It'll either be out or coming up, so go ahead and check that one out. Alright, and as you can see, I got stuff plugged in here. There's actually my daughter's staying out here right now. Got the heat running, that's a different video. And I also put these plugs in, as you'll see. That's also a different video. I went ahead and made a video on doing that separately. This one pretty much was just running the wires in conjunction with each other here. Pretty simple for the most part. As you can see, turning the light on, turning the light off. Everything's working the way it should be. We're all good to go. Alright, this is Sam, Jack of all, Master of none. You all have a good one.